Today, we're going to show you how to bring your entire business online using one of our favorite tools called Google Workspace for less than $20 a month. That's right, less than $20 a month. So stay tuned, make sure to like and subscribe to our channels, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We do a pretty good job of getting them answered. So stay tuned and build with us. So Google Workspace is the easiest and most affordable tool, in our opinion, to get your business fully digital and online. To me, Google Workspace is basically a business in a box. We love using it. We've used it for years. We use it in all of our businesses. And more importantly, it's just super easy to set up and it's so robust. Now, when you're bringing your business online, there is a couple of factors that you want to consider. One, you need a professional email address. Well, why do I need a professional email address? So make believe I'm buying like a $3,000 product service or product from you, and all of a sudden in response back, I get your name at AOL.com. Now, not saying that I have anything against AOL, but it is 2022 when we're recording this video. And if you are still using AOL, you're missing the boat on all the great features that other tools have readily available for you. Now, we recommend Google Workspace because of all that it has. And when you go to Google Workspace, you get a business professional email address. Now, if you followed our earlier videos and you bought yourself a domain, you now have the ability of getting a professional email address. But on top of that professional email address, if somebody starts sending you business documents, or you start collecting business documents and you store it on your computer and your computer lights on fire or something breaks down, what happens to those documents? Well, guess what? Poof, they're gone. Unless you save them to an online drive. An online drive is what they technically call the cloud, right? Or a place where you can store things digitally. We store all of our business documents in the cloud. Now, the reason why we use Google Workspace is, and if you watched any of our previous videos, we like to go with bigger businesses because they have more reliability. Google, Microsoft, all of these businesses have been around for a very long time. They know what they're doing. They're very good at what they do. And then more importantly, the support is incredible. There's also a tremendous amount of help documents. So even if you get a little confused or lost or you don't know what to do, you're going to have the ability of searching for the answer, and you're going to find it a lot easier with a bigger brand name like Google. On top of it, so you got your email, you now have the Google Drive. If anything's taught us over the last few years, having the ability to connect digitally with your customers matters. So having a video kind of ability of like communicating with the customers where they can contact you and you can go on video and you can connect with your customers, family, whoever they're during that place, that is something that is super important to a business. So Google Workspace comes with email, comes with the drive, and it comes with Google Meet in a way that you can customize it for only your individuals. Now, Google Meet has come a long way over the last 2 years. It is incredibly robust. And if you buy the business standard plan, you can get up to 150 people on that particular plan. Now, they have the business plus, which is 500 plus, but starting out 150 people right into a Google Meet is incredibly good. Now, the other thing is, for anybody that does business, you're going to need to create documents. You're probably going to need to create some spreadsheets to calculate some metrics and numbers. You're probably going to have to do some presentations. And I don't know about you, I still am an old-fashioned guy. I use Post-it notes, but guess what? They even have digital Post-it notes called Keep that they offer in here. And the coolest part about it is, if you're just starting out and you really can't afford website hosting, or you're not really familiar on how to put up a website, Google even has Google Sites where you can put up a website fairly easy, very basic website, but at least to get your business out there. And if you have forms that you need customers, or even let's say you're a medical office of some sort and patients to fill out, they have Google Forms. There is so much to that. And oh, by the way, you're under one of the most secure servers out there that exists right now on the planet. So there really is a tremendous amount of benefits in this. Now, if we go to the Google Workspace, right? So all I did was type in Google Workspace. And as you can see, it's the first thing that comes up. And it's got a whole bunch of features. You can see quick little easy guides on like everything you can do, everything from the, all right, which owned by Google. And you just type in Google Workspace. All right, you don't even have to spell it right like I did. You can click on Google Workspace and it immediately takes you there. Now, it has, again, grow and run your business more efficiently. One of the best things about it is it does exactly what it says it's going to do. You have your mail, you have your calendar, you have your drive, you have your documents, and you have your digital Google Meet. And it shows you how they all work, and then it even gives you more examples where you can see all the apps. It shows you how different things are working. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. And the best part of it is it's under $20 a month. You get all these things plus a few additional things. And what we're going to be going over the next few videos is how to set up all of these so you can then in turn, use this and leverage it to the best of your ability to bring your business online digitally, but more importantly, manage it effectively where you're going to have really great results with this. So without further ado, we're going to dive right in. If you followed our earlier videos, you bought your domain, you moved the domain name servers over to Cloudflare. And if you don't, by the way, those videos will be down in the link area there. So make sure to check those out. And again, this is going to be growing. We're going to start small and we're going to scale our business. We're going to go into different programs. But we figured if you're a business that's still out there and you're a local business, or you're just a business and you're trying to start a business and you're trying to go online, what's the most effective and most efficient way? This is going to be the way, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit get started. The name of the business is going to be Rapid Active Media. We are a media company, as you obviously see, and we have a few employees, and we're based out of the US. Beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. My first name, my last name. We're going to put in our current email address, whatever yours might be. And again, it could be your free email account. So whatever, it doesn't matter what you put there. It's just got to be an address that you're going to check, right? And we're going to go ahead and hit next. Does your business already have a domain? Now, if you followed our earlier videos, you could have bought a domain anywhere, Google Domains, Namecheap, or GoDaddy. We use GoDaddy as the example. So yes, I have one I can use. So I'm going to go yes. And the domain is rapidactivemedia.com. Okay, I'm going to make sure I spell it right. By the way, folks, some of the biggest mistakes we see when we teach people how to do this is they spell it incorrectly. So make sure you're spelling correctly as you're building this out. All right, email sent to Rapid Active Media won't be affected until you set up your email account. Great. We're going to go ahead and hit next. Now, notice if you didn't even have a domain, it gives you the option of buying a domain. You are going to buy it through Google Domains. Just be aware. But for instance, in this one, we already had it. And we're going to go ahead and hit next. Educate your users. We'll send users information about Google Workspace apps, new features. I always say, okay, out of all the emails that I want to get, Google is definitely one of them because some of the cool new features that they do come out with are absolutely impressive, and I love using it. Now, a lot of people can create different email addresses. You can create support info. I actually recommend you using your name. Again, you can always add more later on. We are going to do something called add aliases, which is basically where we're going to be creating different email accounts for, let's say, sales, support, and so forth. But for now, I'm going to add my name because I'm going to be the one actively using it. So I'm going to go nuno@rapidactivemedia.com. I'm going to go ahead and select the password. Okay. And I'm going to go, I am not a robot. If I have to do any CAPTCHA, it's going to mean basic CAPTCHA is those little images that they make you select. And I'm going to go ahead and hit agree and continue. Go ahead and I'm just going to change the password up here. Notice it's asking me Rapid Active Media. I'm just going to make sure that when I save the password, I'm saving it right. My username is my email. My password is my password. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit save. You will probably see a promotional code down there because we are going to have an affinity link, an affiliate link right at the bottom. So leverage it because you do get a little bit of a discount. Hopefully it helps you, get your business up and going, and it also helps us. Very small affiliate commission, but it does help, and we can go from there. Now we're going to go with the flexible plan, which is the business standard. It won't get charged for the next 14 days. I do want to make sure that when I'm building this out, remember when you go from the flexible plan to the real plan, you want to make sure you put in your credit card information. We're going to show you how to do that, but just make sure that you do that. If there is a promotional code located below, make sure you're leveraging it. Again, get you a little discount. And we're going to go ahead and hit next. Beautiful. It's now going to ask for my information. Again, we're going to do the $12. because like again, that is more than affordable in my opinion to run your business a monthly. And again, you don't have to pay the full year. You can pay it month by month. So there is no long-term fees. You know, it reoccurs at the end of every month. You can cancel at any time. As far as building your business, this is to me the biggest no-brainer out there that you can do. And the amount of stuff we're going to show you that you can do on here, it's going to blow your mind. That $12 is going to stretch incredibly to the point that you're going to see a definite return on investment if you follow some of the additional advice you're going to see in some of our later videos. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this out. Just stay tuned while we go through this. And I'm going to pause the video, fill this out, and I'll be right back. All right, I went to go ahead and I submitted my payment information. I used my credit card and I went and hit continue, and it brings me to continue to next step. Continue to setup, I should say, I'm sorry. So I just clicked it, let's give it a second. Beautiful, welcome to your admin console. Now everybody that comes in here is like, whoa, this is the tough part. And it does give you some great introductional things that you can do. But it does walk you through the setup, which is great. So we're going to go into next, and it says protect your rapid active domain, keep others from using the domain in Workspace. Yes, we're going to protect it. Create additional accounts. We're not going to do that just yet because we're not. We're just not going to need that just as of yet. And then we're going to get your Gmail. That we're definitely going to need, and that's what we're going to do. So they're going to guide us step by step. So one, we're going to protect. So we're going to verify our domain. This is where things are going to get fun. So before I do that, wherever you're managing your DNS records, it could be GoDaddy, it could be Bluehost, it could be Namecheap, it could be Google Domains, it could be Cloudflare. In our example, we are going to go to Cloudflare, but we're going to show you later examples in other videos where if you're setting up a WordPress site, you're probably going to have to do it in the domains, in the actual hosting company, because they're the ones that are hosting the domain on your behalf, and therefore you're going to have to create the records there. For this example, if you've been following our earlier videos, remember, because we're trying to create the easiest path for you, we're using Cloudflare. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to do Cloudflare. Okay, and again, that's where our domain records are being managed, and that's where we're going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and log into Cloudflare. All right, and if you remember and followed our earlier videos, I have Rapid Active Media right here, and I'm going to go to DNS on the left-hand side. Now, it'll be different in GoDaddy. It's going to be different in several different softwares, but basically you got to get to the point where you're managing your DNS records. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to right here because I needed to go to my place where I'm managing my DNS records. So follow along, watch this a little bit slower. You're going to see that all I did was go into Cloudflare. I logged in. Once I logged in, I went to the DNS side of things on the left-hand side where I can see my records. Now, you know you're in the right place where you could see a CNAME and all these other things in there in order for you to start really doing what's expected next. So I'm going to, again, now that I have my DNS record area up, I'm going to go back to set up my account. Now, if you're following Cloudflare, this will be fairly easy because you're basically following our setup. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit protect. So I am ready to protect my domain. And you see, it already knows that my domain records are inside of Cloudflare. So it's going to ask me to sign in to verify. And notice this is why I was already signed into my DNS manager. Like that, it allows it to verify quicker. So it's adding this additional record, as you can see, to authorize my account. I'm going to give it a few minutes. I'm going to pause the video while it does that. So the verification was done automatically, and it took about like 3 to 5 minutes. So why that worked so well was because I had the place where I had my DNS records, which happens to be Cloudflare, logged in and up. So when Google was trying to come in, it was already up, so it was easy for Google to get there. Now, if you have GoDaddy or Namecheap, my recommendation is right during the setup, right at the part that I stopped, make sure that you stop there, open up another tab, and go ahead and open whatever domain registrar you have everything in. Again, if you've been following our videos, we recommended Cloudflare. It might be in GoDaddy's, yours might be in Namecheap. It might even be in Bluehost and SiteGround and a couple of other places. We strongly recommend like doing it this way. It's just easier to kind of get everything up online. And again, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. We'll answer them and make additional videos for you. So hopefully that helps. So we now have, you know, it fully verified. It added the record. It used to be that you had to add the record, but this actually added the record and removed the record all in one shot, which was pretty amazing. I now have the ability of creating new people, but I'm going to skip that part because, like I said, we're going to do that at a later point in time. It's just me. I'm a solopreneur. Well, I'm not a solopreneur, but in this example, we're basically in our agency. We already have an established agency account. We're doing this for more sample purposes, so we're only going to really create one account. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and activate Gmail so I can start sending emails out. Now, this process, it can take up to 60 minutes. It's not going to take us 60 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and hit activate. I am ready to activate Gmail. Now, it's going to, again, because I'm already in Cloudflare, notice this is brand new, folks, by the way. It is something that you used to have to individually add the records, but because I'm already logged in, I'm going to go ahead and just hit sign in to activate. Now, because Cloudflare and Google talk to each other, it makes the process so much easier. Now, notice it's going to add all these records, including, oh my God, this is brand new. See, I wasn't even aware that they were doing this now. They will add your SPF record, which helps prevent email spoofing, which the fact that they're going to do this all one time for you is amazing. Again, why going with Cloudflare that has direct communication with Google Workspace is amazing. It does all this for you and now eliminates half the battle of you having to manually add all these records in whatever software. Now, I think it does the same thing with GoDaddy, and I think it might do the same thing with Namecheap, but this is pretty cool, that the fact that it does it already for you. So I'm going to go ahead and authorize, and wow, it is literally going to add all these records on my behalf. I'm going to pause the video and once just to let it go through. Oh wow, that actually just happened that quickly. That would be absolutely amazing. I'm actually going to refresh, and wow, it did. Not only did it add all the server records that I need in order to do that, but wow, it just did it on its own. This is again why Cloudflare keeps winning for me, because it just made my life tremendously easier where it's set up everything for it. Now you're going to say, well, what happens if it's not doing that? No problem. You can add these records manually. Now, the way to add these records manually is, one, they will give you the records if you did not have the ability to kind of interconnect. They will say, please add the following records. And the records you're going to add are these records exactly. So for instance, if I wanted to add a record, all I would do is add record, and we're going to add the MX. The MX record will be here. The name will always be the root symbol, which is the @ symbol. And then the mail server would be the address they're going to provide for you, right? In this situation, it would be, I'm just going to copy this right here. They would give it to you on the previous screen, as you can see. And then when it comes to priority, it's usually a 5 on the first one, a 5 on the second one, a 10 on the third, and then they give you a main one that they put as a 1. Now, the reason why it's always best to let them do this is because this is the most updated settings you can possibly have, which again, very impressed that they did this. This is brand new. Not even a couple months ago, this was not the case because we were adding all these records manually. But the fact that they did all this is incredible. Then they also add one of the most important records for email deliverability, which is your SPF record. So we're technically done as far as setting up the email, and we show you how easy it is. It literally took, it said 60 minutes, it took 3. And again, secret here was was already logged into Cloudflare, and it allowed me to kind of move over into that. Now, again, I'm not going to create new users, so it's okay to skip for now. And then it's going to ask me to send a test email. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, and I'm going to come over here and try Gmail. So I'm going to hit try, and notice something very, very cool for everybody to see. If you just click and just go through the setup the way they want you to, if you go to try now, it automatically pops this 9 dots. Know that when you're using Google Workspace, anytime you have to do anything in any of these documents, all you have to do is click the one you want. So because I just created this account, I now have a Gmail account. So type in Nuno, right? The one I just created, rapidactivemedia.com. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. I selected the password that I did for myself earlier on. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Hit accept. And it automatically asks you if I want to change up the, the profile, which the profile is basically, you can have a profile per email address. I love it. We're using a private profile now. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to say no thanks for now, but I'm going to have it here. And then you can hit get started. It talks about the chat feature. It then goes into workspaces where you can invite different team members inside of your account, meaning as you create different aliases, like your partner, like eventually I'm going to create one for my partner and for some of my workers. We're going to have the ability of going in here and being able to talk about it and meet and so forth and so on. Again, I'm going to do a separate video just going on in the robustness of everything that happens in mail. The main thing that we're trying to do is, one, get you up and running so you have everything going. So now you see that I have my email, but I want you to do something right away. I want you to get used to bookmarking things. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the bookmark tab, and I'm going to call this just mail, right? So then I have the ability of going to this every single time. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit done. Now well, where is it? I just saved it as a bookmark. Where is it? Make sure that we're showing the bookmarks bar by hitting either Control-Shift-B. If I don't know what it is on an Apple, but it'll be something similar. So we're going to show the bookmarks, and as you can see, I have mail being my first one. Well, you told me I had a drive, right, where I want to start storing documents. Yeah, you do. Remember those 9 little dots we talked about? Because you're already logged into your mail under your account, you now can start accessing some of these things. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our drive. And what I always like to do is I like to bookmark this too. And I'm going to label it drive. And I add it to the bookmarks bar. Now I have my mail, I have my drive. Isn't that amazing? And it's all there right here. And if you want to be really fancy, and you can just edit these, and sometimes I just like the icons. So I can take the word drive, and look what happens. I now have just the icon. Or I can take the mail, do the same thing, delete the word mail, and hit save. But for teaching purposes, we're going to make it super easy. We're going to edit, and we're actually going to put the word mail. And we're going to go ahead and hit save. We're going to actually edit. I'm going to put in drive and hit save. And now we're in Google Drive. Now in Google Drive, again, we're going to explore these a little bit separately, but so far we have our mail, we have our drive, but you also said a calendar, right? No, I did say a calendar. 9 little dots. Let's go to our calendar. Here you go, a full-fledged calendar that you can download both on your mobile Android phone or your Apple phone, which I strongly, strongly recommend. And all you have to do in order to do that is hit the key here, and it automatically downloads everything to your phone. It will send it to your phone once you establish a number. We're going to let that load in a second. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to calendars. I'm going to say got it. If not, just look at your app store. It'll have it there. Set up a work location for making schedule easier. Now, what's really, really cool is you can set whatever locations you want. And if you work from a different bunch of locations, you can do it. This is brand new, by the way. I usually work from home Mondays through Fridays, so I'm just going to hit home. I'm going to hit done. So it's not going to have the location set. You can change the location every time so you know where you are. Again, brand new features. They're always coming out with new features. What we're going to do right now is, again, save to bookmark. And what we're going to do is we're going to write calendar, right? Now I got my calendar. So I have my mail, my drive, and my calendar all listed here. So I literally, in the matter of a few minutes, created, my calendar, my drive, and my mail. And if I now wanted to go, well, I got to create a spreadsheet, or I want to get a flyer out to one of my customers. Well, for flyers, let's go to Google Sheets, Google Slides, I should say. They have a couple of slides. Maybe I want to create a proposal. I can come over here. We're going to let that auto-populate. We're going to say this is the draft consulting proposal. Super easy, right? File. I can go ahead and, well, it's automatically saved. Do you want to see how wild this is? Because now in my drive, guess what's there now? Notice I didn't save. I didn't do anything. It auto-saves online. And now it's in my drive. Now we're like, wait a second. This is not organized. I want to make sure things are organized. No problem. We're going to teach you how to create folders, how to organize your whole entire business. We're going to say this is going to be, let's say, proposals. Obviously, spelling it right would go a very long way. Watching me spell, by the way, is not going to be a treat for anyone here. And you're like, well, the folder's out here and this is out here. Look, it's as simple as dragging it in. Now my proposal's all in one place. So the point of it is that for a very small amount of times, we created our email address, we added the drive, we added the calendar, we now started working with slides. We're going to go on and we're going to show you how to create different things, and we're going to show you little tips and tricks on how to get through this. But the main goal of today is to get you up and going, where you now have a working email, which we're going to customize a little bit later. You have a working drive, you have a working calendar that you're now going to be able to leverage to do a bunch of different things. And oh, one more thing, just in case you wanted to meet somebody online, you can enter a new meeting, create a meeting for later, start an instant meeting. Well, it's not going to allow me to use my camera because I'm using my camera right now, but you could start using it, invite somebody to it, and now you can have a conversation with that individual one-on-one. And we're going to show you how to do all this, but you literally just built an entire business in a box where you can send out emails, you can make up calendar appointments for you and your clients, you can create draft proposals and documents, you can meet virtually, and then more importantly, we're going to show you all the different things that you can do as you build your business, and eventually we're going to show you how to create a site using Google Sites. So hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned as more videos are going to come along. Follow the series and build with us so you can get your business online and digital.